This is a summary of the Retail Trade Analysis Report for fiscal year 2014 for West Liberty, Iowa. On the cover of the report, there are some key retail indicators for West Liberty, and it's compared to 2013 and 2014. The first one on the list is the real total taxable sales, where we see a decrease. The number of reporting firms, we see a decrease. Population, actually a small increase. Average sales per capita decrease, and average sales per firm decrease. And the following slides will get into this a little bit more. Real total taxable sales in West Liberty, the vertical axis is in millions of retail sales. So in fiscal year 2005, we have $17.2 million. And then it peaks out at 2009, pre-recession, at 19.8, and then bounces back in fiscal year 2010 at 17.4. The highlighted area is actually kind of the norm for West Liberty. It's kind of been bouncing around there for quite a while if you take out the pre-recession numbers. So we started 10 years ago with $17.2 million, and we ended 2014 was $17.2 million. The annualized number of reporting firms in West Liberty, the vertical axis is returns filed per quarter, which we assume are businesses. And so we see 2005 at 108 businesses, and then it increases in 2007, a little dip in 2008. But then you see this really plateau area between 2009 and 2012, and it doesn't vary very much at all. But then there's been a decline from fiscal year 2012 to 2014. That may explain why the total taxable sales have decreased also. The taxable retail sales per capita, that's the total taxable sales for West Liberty divided by the population. So you see on the vertical axis 2005 up to 12,500. For example, West Liberty is in the red dash, and if you take 2005, you see that West Liberty has 4,909 compared to the state of Iowa, which has 11,980. And West Liberty has stayed fairly consistent. It's dropped off a little bit in the last 5 years. But there's certainly room to grow as far as attracting more retail sales. Population trends for West Liberty and Muscatine County. West Liberty is in the solid red, Muscatine County is in the dotted red, and state of Iowa in the dash blue. If you look at our vertical axis, you'll see that it's kind of an expanded view at 95% to 110%. What's great is West Liberty is actually growing in population, and more than the state of Iowa and more than Muscatine County. And so that's something to start on. But keep in mind these vertical axis, so you're talking about a growth of maybe 6% over 10 years. But it's good growth. This population trend for peer cities, this is the first slide where we're talking about peer cities. There's actually about 63 cities within your peer group. And so you see the West Liberty solid line in red, and you see the peer group average in blue. And so you're significantly higher than the other 63 in your peer group, which is pretty significant. Average sales per capita, this is part of those 62 cities I was talking about that's within West Liberty's peer group. And this is kind of the top 10. Now, West Burlington and Williamsburg have an asterisk because there's some anomalies there. But if you take the rest of them, Spirit Lake down to Atlantic, those would be probably better to compare to. As you see in the peer group average, we have 14,100 as far as average sales per capita. West Liberty comes in at 4,595, and the state of Iowa at 11,565. This is the estimated trade area capture, so it's an annualized number of shoppers. What Liesl has done is taken a bundle of retail expenditures, and then divided it into West Liberty's total taxable sales. And the result of that is a group of shoppers. And so the red dotted line is the shoppers that are shopping in West Liberty. The blue line is actually the population. So you can see that about a half of the shoppers are shopping in West Liberty as far as the population is concerned. And it's pretty consistent throughout the 10-year period. This is the pull factor comparison with your peer group, which is about 62 different cities. And so we see a ratio here of to your peer median, and West Liberty is in the red dot. A break even of greater than 1 means that you're pulling in customers into the retail area from your particular city. So you can see that the peer median has always been above 1 for the last 10 years. When you take a look at West Liberty, it's been about 0.45 for the last 10 years. And so a number of your shoppers, again, are going outside of West Liberty to do their retail shopping. I was hesitant to include this slide. This is something that I've done as far as a threshold analysis, and what it is when you see the business type, restaurants, taverns, and bars, that's starting at about 300 population, and as you go down to stationery, gift, and novelty, that's about 3,000 in population. And so it just gives you some idea that that there's possibilities of pulling these type of businesses into West Liberty. You can kind of check off and, okay, we have this and we don't have that, and the reason we don't have that is because of this. But here again, it's not a very scientific. I just took the total number of businesses and divide them by the population, and I come up with this figure. But it also is a pretty good teaching tool where we can kind of see, why don't we have an auto repair business? Why don't we have a beauty shop? Plumbing and heating contractors. You can pull some of these out of here and you can say, what is the reason we don't have these? Worker inflows and outflows for 2011. And you see the left arrow, the blue arrow, is people living elsewhere, but they're employed in West Liberty, so that's 1,241. The circle indicates employed and living in West Liberty, and that's 422. And the red arrow is living in West Liberty and employed somewhere else, and that's 1,168. Now we'd like to see that number, that in the circle, that 422, we'd like to see that increase, with housing and everything else that we have as benefits. And it wouldn't be so bad if we have the red arrow living in West Liberty employed elsewhere, as long as they're bringing back paychecks that are better salary-wise than what they could make in West Liberty, because that'll actually increase your retail sales also. We've been talking a lot about peer groups, and here is West Liberty's peer group, and some of these we can use to compare what do they have that we don't have, and some that I would probably take a look at would be the top of the list. In the left-hand corner would be Albia, maybe Sheraton, Cresco, Eagle Grove, Emmitsburg, Garner, and then I'd probably go down to Milford, New Hampton, Osage, Rock Valley, Waukon, Tipton, and you could include Williamsburg, but that's kind of an anomaly too. And what you can do is, just go into the city, and there is a program called First Impressions that you can actually compare one city to the other and just see what they have. See if they have similar geographic location as far as other cities and other retail centers, and just see what kind of retail they have that you don't have.